Guys, what's good? It's your boy Phil. We have a bunch of stuff to talk about. A lot of stuff to talk about off this chapter. Solo leveling 145. It was such a great chapter. If you want to check out my reaction, because man, there is some good shit. The link is down below in my Twitch, the VOD. There's no panel, so sorry you don't get to watch that shit. But it's alright, because this chapter was pretty damn sick. It was pretty damn sick, man. It was a wild chapter, so enough bullshit. Without further ado, let's just talk about this shit. Let's do it. I want to start this off with Thomas Andre. Thomas Andre, because like I said before, this man is in such a shitty position, but I really don't feel bad for him. I felt bad for him earlier today, but I really don't feel bad for him anymore because this dude's ego is so huge that he deserves to get his ass whooped. He really does. So let's recap this chapter really quick. Obviously, yes, my boy Woo beats the shit out of Hwang Dong Su. Beats the shit out of him. Throws him in the air. Bashing his head against a fucking metal pipe. Heals up the boy Eugene Ho. Sends him off with Kaisel and Igris to the hospital. Beating the shit out of Hwang Dong Su and his little posse. Throws him into the air. He says, hey, Thomas Andre, as he arrives to the scene, Thomas Andre, now it's your turn. Now you have to beat the ass of my boy Sung Jin Woo. His whole plan, the whole time, he knew he wasn't going to be strong enough to deal with Sung Jin Woo. Rather, how about he just lure over the boy Thomas Andre to do his dirty work for him? Was it worth the ass beating? Probably not, but it set up for a damn good part of this arc. For sure. So I salute Hwang Dong Su for that for sure. For leading us to this point that we're at now. But man, this dude sucks and he's probably still gonna die if I'm being real with you. He didn't die today, but he's probably gonna die in a few chapters. So wait on that. Now we could talk about Thomas Andre, the national level hunter, swooping in onto the scene. Ladies and gentlemen, officially we have Sung Jin Woo versus Thomas Andre, and what is the Ah Jin Guild versus the Scavenger Guild. Now, let me just tell you straight up right now, this is a gang fight right now. This is a gang versus gang war here. In the Ah Jin Guild versus the Scavenger Guild. The entirety, the collection of my boy Sung Jin Woo's shadows versus the entire Scavenger Guild. Excluding, obviously, Igris, Beru, and Kaisel, because they're off doing their own things now. It doesn't matter, though. It really doesn't matter. The shadows are going to be strong enough to take out the Scavenger Guild. They're going to be strong enough. You're going to see, I can't wait to see the artwork, because literally the next few chapters are going to be complete combat chapters. You're going to see these giant shadows with hunters in their arms, you know, throwing them all over the place like a fucking Attack on Titan. It's going to be sick. You're going to see these mages he has casting, you know, AoE spells all over the place, fireballs. You're going to see Tusk doing his weird dragon magic type stuff. You're going to see Jima with his trident doing all that good stuff. It's going to be a great chapter. I cannot wait for this fight. It's going to be insane. But at the heart of it all, it's going to be my boy Woo versus Thomas Andre. Woo, listen, here's the thing you gotta know about my boy Sung Jin Woo. And this is really the main focal point that I want you guys to understand from these past few chapters. My boy Sung Jin Woo is so pissed off that he has tunnel vision right now. This guy does not care anymore, man. He's going to murder every single person in the Scavenger Guild. It's going to happen. He will not rest until all of their asses are beat. And that is so scary for me, man. If I'm in the Scavenger Guild, I'm running. I'm not fighting with Thomas Andre. I'm getting the hell out of there. Wow, it's gonna be good, man. It's gonna be absolutely good. Do I think the Ah Jin Guild wins? Yes. Do I think Thomas Andre dies? No, I don't think he dies. If he does die, though, he dies, you know, painfully. But I think we're definitely going to see some shadow action here. I think my boy Woo is not going to wait at the opportunity to gather a nice new collection of high-level shadows. There's gonna be some murder here. There is. Some of the Scavenger Guild members are gonna die, and they're gonna get resurrected right away and become part of my boy Woo's army. And that's gonna be pretty sick. But I don't think I see Thomas Andre dying yet. Not yet. He will die though. And same with Hwang Dong Su. He will die as well. But let me tell you, this fight, I don't think it's going to be a steamroll. I really don't. And I say that every single fucking time in this series. And they usually end up getting steamrolled by my boy Woo. But I don't think it's going to be the case this time. I really don't. I think that Thomas Andre will give a run for my boy Woo's money. I was going to say army. Money, but I think my boy Woo is still going to come out on top. Obviously, he's the fucking protagonist. No, that's not my argument. It's because he's just that strong, and he's so pissed off that I would not be surprised. I talked about this in the stream. If you watch the full VOD, I would not be surprised if the anger in my boy Woo, the fact that he's so pissed off and angry, I would not be surprised if the system initiates an emergency quest, something we haven't seen in a while. I would not be surprised if an emergency quest pops up that says that my boy Sung Jin Woo has to murder all of the Scavenger Guild. I would not be surprised if that's something that happens. And in my opinion, if that did happen, that would be pretty damn cool, and I would love to see that, man. But that's what we have to look forward to from the next part of solo leveling, the next, battle, next few coming chapters. It's gonna be sick. I'm taking the Ah Jin Guild over this one. I really didn't think it was gonna come to this, I'll be real with you. I would have thought that Thomas Andre was smarter than this, that he would have tried to maintain good relations with my boy Woo in hopes to try and get him to come to America. That's blown out the window now. My boy Woo he doesn't give a shit about America anymore. He doesn't give a shit about anything. He's just pissed, and he's gonna beat the ass of my boy Thomas Andre. What this has become now, not only is it a gang war, this has become a battle of the egos. Because we've seen in this chapter how big Thomas Andre's ego is. But little does he know, my boy Sung Jin Woo's ego is just as big, if not bigger. And that's what we're going to see in this fight. Whose ego comes out on top. And that's exciting. That is very exciting. And you guys know it's going to probably be my boy Sung Jin Woo's. And I'm excited. I think we're in for some good artwork in this coming fight. Some good fights, obviously. But, a good conclusion as well. Now, speaking of that fight, down the line, let's say my boy Woo does win, because he probably will. This is the next thing that we have to think about because of this arc. Because the main thing of this arc is the National Level Hunter Convention. This is a side story, man. This whole part is really a side story to the National Level Hunter Convention. That's the whole reason we're in America, right? So how does my boy Woo erasing the Scavenger Guild, how does that affect the National Level Hunter Convention, man? How does that affect it? It's gonna be really awkward. It's gonna be really awkward because America, once the Scavenger Guild is erased, America is gonna be really similar to Japan, man. Remember, Jeju Island, Ryuji Goto, the Short Sword Guild. Japan was a top country for the hunters. Now they're nothing. They've been belittled into irrelevancy. Is the same thing about to happen to America once my boy Woo is done with the Scavenger Guild? Probably. America's probably going to be just as irrelevant as Japan now. And that's kind of exciting for my boy Woo and South Korea, right? South Korea's on the come up, man. They have my boy Sung Jin Woo, the Ah Jin Guild. They are on the come up. It's good times for South Korea, but the rest of the world, man, wow, they're getting steamrolled. They are getting steamrolled right now. And it's fun, man. It is good stuff. So that's something I want to keep in mind for this national, the Nation Hunter Conference. That's something I want to keep in mind of. Also, Thomas Andre being, a national level hunter, being a spokesperson for, this whole conference, being a head figure of it all. He might die. He might. There's a possibility Thomas Andre dies. And that's pretty scary. I don't think he's going to, But he's going to get his ass beaten, and it's going to be sick, and it's going to be really awkward in this conference, man. And I'm looking at China, and I'm looking at Lu Zhigang. I'm looking at them and what role they're going to have in the national conference coming up after this fight, obviously. Is there going to be a target put on my boy Sung Jin Woo at this conference? Just like his father? Are father and son going to be targets of the world? That's a possibility. That could definitely happen. And if it does, I really don't know where the series goes, man. I really don't know. But all I know is this chapter was sick. It was epic. Top chapter. I'm excited for what's to come. Boys, get ready because next chapter and the chapters coming are going to be huge. Back to back to back to back to back hype chapters from the America arc. It's going to be insane, man. It's going to be insane. Guys, that was chapter 145 of Solo Leveling. Lit chapter. Let me know down below what you think about this chapter. What are your theories coming up? What is going to happen to my boy Hwang Dong Su and Thomas Andre? Are they both going to get their ass beat? Are they both going to die? Is one going to become a shadow? I don't think Thomas Andre could become a shadow because of the rulers and the fragments of brilliant light. I don't think he could become a shadow, but Hwang Dong Su could become a shadow if he dies. Is that something that's going to happen? It might. It really might. And I don't know why he would want that, because he has stronger shadows than that, but maybe just to fuck with him and torture him and some shit. Nah, I don't think he would do that to his shadows. Maybe, I don't know, but I'm excited, boys. Wow, we're in for some good stuff. Guys, this chapter made me sweat. I don't usually sweat after reading some manhwas, but this one did the trick. Guys, until the next one, I'll see you later. Peace out.